What's up, world renowned family? Welcome to Neil at Noon, and today it is time for our checkup. Now, if you are like most, you don't like going into the doctor or the dentist for checkups because you don't want bad news. However, if we never have updates, then we can't see how to correct our course, whether it's in our health, our lives, our businesses, or our personal relationships. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to begin by asking you a question. And that question is simply, how's the year going so far? We are 17 days in, and I want to ask you again, how's the year going so far? Now, in that question, there are a myriad of avenues or areas that you would have to consider. Let's talk health. What about mental health, spiritual well-being? Are we talking about business, finances, personal relationships? How's the year going so far? Is 2020 what you thought it would be going into when we made all of those resolutions or promises to ourselves? Now, why am I doing this video today on the 17th, not even a full 3 weeks into the new year? It's because of something that I believe when Jim Rohn said it so many years ago. It says that you've got to keep score. In order to win in this thing called life or in anything, you have to keep score. You can't improve what you don't measure. So there are some things that we have to keep score on a daily basis. There are some that we need to keep track of by the weeks and some by the months, quarters, or years. For instance, it says an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So let me ask you, are you doing the daily disciplines that you need to? Are you watching what you eat, what you watch, what you read, the relationships that you are making or that you're cultivating this year? Now, those resolutions or those promises, 17 days ago, we said, I'm going to commit to doing this. Where are we with those promises right now? You know, the ones that I talked about, you promised you, more so than, you doing something for the wrong reasons. Those promises that you made to yourself, how are you in keeping those promises? Pastor Troy often says that you can't change your destination in a day, but you can change your direction. If you've gotten off course, if you've gotten off track in these first 2.5 weeks, today is the day to do something about that. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and after much conversation, it got down to much like I do with you all. I was just sitting there eating, and I'm listening to him have a conversation with himself. And so he probably talked for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then he says, I'm sorry, because he was talking to me, but he wasn't talking to me. His answers, it was a moment of self-revelation. And so then I asked him, I said, so what are we going to do with what you know you're supposed to be doing from this moment? He says, well, so far this year, I've messed up. I got off track on day 3. And I said, well, great. Now that you've had a checkup and you know where you've strayed, you know where you've gotten off course, now we can move forward. What are you going to do today? And it was about execution and implementing a plan yesterday, so that he could move forward in what it is that he had strayed from. So I want to invite you today at this very moment. What is it that you need to recommit to? What is it that you need to look at and say, I haven't done what I promised myself. I'm not executing with what I know I should be doing. Let's make that decision today on January 17th, 2020, so that we don't feel the feeling of regret come June 30th of this year, or in September, or really in December, because it's better for us to start and have a checkup and know where we're going right and where we're going wrong. And the final thing I want to ask you, are you making time for your priorities? Have you scheduled your priorities in your life, in your planner, in your iCalendar or your Google Calendar? Are your priorities showing up on a daily and weekly basis? If not, change that today, because that's what's going to help you live the life that you so desired on December 31st, 2019. So schedule your priorities. Make sure that you're keeping a daily, weekly, or monthly tab on your activities and your what is it, progress. I was going to say process. Make sure that you're keeping tabs on your progress, and as you do that, find someone to hold you accountable. You hold them accountable, and before you know it, you'll be where you want to be, probably further than you thought you would be. Love you. God loves you. There's nothing you can do about it. Until next time, don't be average. Be world renowned. Peace.